What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Realistic Room with Wrexham. This is episode number 23, and in the last episode, we kicked off our life in League One, beating Mansfield in the Cup. That was our first win in any competition. In terms of the league, we got battered by Rotherham, absolutely humbled by the side who are favourites to win the league this season. They beat us 4-0. And then we drew with Salford, another a newly promoted side like us. We drew with them 1-1. So we're currently sat in the relegation zone, 1 point from 2 games. It's not the worst start, but we did get that win against Mansfield to round off the episode. That was in the Cup, in the Carabao Cup. So we got that winning feeling about us now, okay? As we head into today's episode, we take on Leyton Orient, who are unbeaten after their first 2 games. 1 win and 1 draw for the O's, facing them away from home. So it'll be a tough game, but like we said, the board want us to challenge for promotion this season, which I guess it's okay. Considering in last season, we were a newly promoted side into League Two and they wanted us to win the league. This season, they've lowered their expectations a little bit. They still want us to push for promotion, but they aren't setting their standards too high. I think I would be happy with like mid-table in any sort of normal season. When you've just won back-to-back promotions, you'd be happy with just staying up or finishing mid-table. The fact I have to push for promotion again is quite crazy, but we'll see what we can do. Going into this game, we're facing Leyton Orient, who, like I said, 4 points from the first 2 games, will be a difficult outlet to face. Well, we got the perfect start. Paul Mullin grabbing his second goal in 3 games after a nice cutback from Luke Bolton, but the lead would last only a matter of moments as the O's would go down the other end and equalise. In terms of our formation, by the way, so against Mansfield, we altered the formation ever so slightly. We went to a 4-2-3-1 wide, and that seemed to work decently in the cup game. So we're trying it out again today. But what I did want to touch on, and this will come up a couple of times this episode, is the AI that I don't control for my team. So Leyton Orient have just gone 2-1 up, right? And Josh Earl, he's sat in a perfectly good position there, marking the player, but then for some reason the AI just shifts him 2 steps to the right when there's absolutely no player there to mark. The only player there is marked by 2 players already. He has got a man in front of him, but the AI just controls him and puts him 2 shifts to the right, which then opens up the space for the striker to put it into the back of the net. And this isn't the first time this has happened. It's the first time I'm sort of really making note of it and showing you the replay of it, because I wanted you guys to see, I don't know, how difficult it is sometimes when, I feel like sometimes I'm not just playing against the AI in the opposition team, I'm playing against the AI on my own team as well. It's a really difficult one to handle. With that scenario, what could I do there? Is that something that, I don't think that's anything to do with the tactics. I think it's just the game being pretty broken. Like, it makes no logical sense that the left centre-back, when he has a man in front of him, would just shift to the right and mark no one and basically just leave them an open space. That's why when I'm defending, it's quite difficult because I feel like I have to try and control every single player. Otherwise, something like that's going to happen. Anyway, like I said, it's not the last time it'll happen in this episode. But and sorry to jump out of the realism, but going back into the game, we would find the equaliser. Elliot Lee would give up a pretty decent opportunity, hitting the side netting before actually scoring a really nice goal just a few moments later. A really nice curled effort into the far corner. And then with just a few minutes to go, Jewison Bennett gets his first goal in Wrexham colours and what looks like to be the winner in a 5-goal thriller. Paul Mullin found in the box. He squares it to the ex-Sunderland winger who grabs his first goal for the club. And what a big goal it is. It gives us our first win in the league. We beat Leyton Orient. We stopped their unbeaten run. Both sides are now 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss in the league in these very early stages. But a good victory away from home builds character, a win like that. We were down 2-1. We started well. We were down 2-1. We fought back and we won away from home. So very impressed with the boys. And obviously, again, that helps with one of the objectives, which is to win 5 away games this season. Thankfully, it's not in a row. Like last season, they wanted us to keep 5 clean sheets in a row away from home. This season, they just want us to get 5 wins away from home total. And we started off on the right tracks to do that. So 1 out of 5 already done as we receive a bid here from West Brom for George Evans. Now, This was a tough one because in the comments in the last couple of episodes, a few of you we've been discussing about, should I sell some of my players, should I not, who should I sell them to? Now we basically came to the consensus that if a bid comes in from from a Premier League side or maybe a top Championship side for a player that I realistically might sell, or maybe not even sell, but I have to consider it, then I will consider it. And George Evans, who is my best defensive mid, I love this guy. Bid came in from West Brom, and sorry, again, there was a weird bug with the West Brom representative. He had no shirt. I don't know what this was. So, yeah, it was just a floating head and arms that I was discussing with. But yeah, anyway, sorry to go back to the transfer. So, West Brom wanted George Evans, and I thought because they're fourth in the Championship, they're a team that have come up and down a little bit. I'll sit down and listen to them and try and negotiate a deal. Now they offered just shy of 900,000. I wanted somewhere in the region of 1.3 to 1.4 million because I was not willing to just part with my best CDM for next to no money. I lowered my bid a couple of times, and they basically weren't budging. I think the highest they went to was just over 900k. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to accept that. I've sat down with them, and I don't think I've demanded the world. I haven't demanded an outrageous bid, but they could have met me in the middle. The fact they didn't even go over a million was a bit frustrating. So that deal doesn't happen. We head into the second game against Cheltenham, and you're going to see once again another incident where the AI has done me over here. I'll be honest. I'm controlling O'Connell, and for absolutely no reason, he's got a man on his right shoulder. He runs over to the left. Now I know there's a player over there, but Mendy is over there covering. There is no reason why my centre back would just leave that man in the middle of the box with 5 to 10 yards of space to score. Now, it's a good finish, don't get me wrong. It's a really, really good finish. But again, it's another scenario where it's been taken out of my hands, like impacting the game. I feel like I'm not only playing against the AI, against the team I'm playing against, but I feel like I'm playing against my own players as well. Say against again, Junior, Jesus. So yeah, that one was really frustrating once again. Let me know in the comments if it's something I'm doing wrong, if it's something I could change in the tactics. Maybe I'm not, doing something right, but it just seems like it's a game problem, which is worrying because it's tough enough playing on this difficulty and with the teams that you're playing with. But when you're up against your own players, it just sometimes feel like like it's made to lose. Like you're made to lose this one. So it's a very difficult subject. It's a very tough one to take when I'm seeing scenarios like that happen and the one against Leyton Orient. Luckily, we came back and beat Orient, but this game we went 2-0 down. That was a goal that gave them a 1-0 lead. They then went 2-0 up Cheltenham. And to be fair to them, they were the better side in this game. I'm not going to deny it. They were the better side. But something like that is quite infuriating, to be honest, because I'm up against it already. I've got a board demanding such high expectations, and when I'm having situations like that, it just sucks. Anyway, sorry, going back into the game, you would have seen here probably the most fortunate goal I've ever scored. Tom Bradshaw's through on goal. His first shot hits the far post. It comes back to him. His shot then hits the second post. The keeper saves it, and then it somehow bundles in over the line. That was with about 5 minutes to go, and we half their deficit. Thought maybe we could get back into this one. We actually subbed off Mullin for Bradshaw just because Mullin was knackered. This was a midweek game, and we had a game again on the weekend, so rotation was key here. Well, unfortunately, we did lose the game. Cheltenham, who have started quite strongly, they're in the top half. They collect all 3 points, and we returned to losing ways, but I felt like we played okay. Cheltenham, though, overall the better side. Ryan Barnett went down as well. You would have seen in the highlights. Luckily, it was just a 5-day injury, which is good to hear. And then Aaron Hayden comes to us and says that he wants us to know that he's committed to us. And I didn't know there was an issue here, to be honest. Hayden's been playing for us. He's been starting for us. He's been the captain, so I'm not really sure what that was about. And then Paul Mullin. This was a new one, actually. I haven't really seen this one before. Mullin comes to us and says, "Boss, I'm not sure what the message is that you're sending out when you're subbing me off and I'm one of your key players and we're losing the game," which is an absolutely valid point. The only reason was that he was tired and I wanted him to be fit for the next game. But in hindsight, it probably would have been best just to have him staying on the pitch, being involved in the game as much as possible. And then if I have to start Bradshaw in the next game, I have to start Bradshaw. But I shouldn't prioritise When I'm in the middle of a game, I shouldn't prioritize a future game, if that makes sense. Yeah, I should have handled that situation better. But I love that he came to me and said, what's going on? Anyway, we get a countless offers for Luke Young from Italian side specifically. I don't really know what the attraction is there. We reject it because it's not a realistic destination, and we go on with our business and into the third and final game of the episode, which is a huge one. Bristol Rovers away. We are 20th, one place above the drop zone. They are 18th. So it's a big game. I know it's early doors, but we want to be winning these games. And our away form's not been too bad. We lost at home to Cheltenham, but we won away against Leyton Orient. So can we seal another away victory to end this episode? Well, you would have seen the changed formation. We're playing a 4-3-2-1. Because of that midweek game against Cheltenham, we only had specific players available with good fitness. So I wanted to start Bradshaw and Mullin. I couldn't really fit in a way unless I went narrow to make that work. So we've gone with a 4-3-2-1. Bradshaw playing as one of the front three. He and Bolton either side of Mullin. Basically, that didn't really work. The first half, Bristol Rovers absolutely dominated us. They led 1-0 at the break. So we changed it up, went to a 4-3-1-2, which is a formation we tried out a couple times last season as well. Mullin and Bradshaw up top now fully, with Liam behind, and then a midfield three. Didn't mind this formation too much, and in the second half we did grow into the game, although Bristol Rovers would bag what they thought was the second goal, only for the striker to eventually realise that he was offside. But that seemed to be a wake-up call for us, and as we went on into the game, Josh Earl, who was covering at left back in this game, finds Paul Mullin, but his shot goes just wide. But just a few moments later, Lee finds Bradshaw in behind Bradshaw. Can he find Mullin? There's his strike partner, and Paul Mullin. This guy is unstoppable. It doesn't matter what league he's in, he will find the back of the net. He is a bagsman. And PM 10 brings us level. And then deep into injury time, Nathan Lloyd collects a cross really well. And it would be a draw. 1-1 in Bristol, as the points are shared between two teams in the lower end of the table. Teams where they don't want to be. But it's not the worst result. Considering that first half performance, we were actually really poor. We changed up the formation, changed up the style, and we looked a lot better in the second half. And I don't hate playing two up top. Bradshaw and Mullin are very good strikers individually. Perhaps they could form a partnership. Well, that'll be it for today's episode. As you can see here in the league, we are just above the relegation zone. So we have moved up out of the relegation zone from the start of the episode, but still, we're still yet to find our real rhythm in League One. But there's still a lot of potential and a lot of positive notes for sure. As you see at the top of the table, Rotherham, who beat us on the opening day, 4 wins from their first 5, scoring 10 goals, only conceded 1. That is insane. They look like they're going to run away with the league this year. Well, that will be it for today's episode. I hope you're enjoying the series. As always, make sure you smash that like button. Sub to the channel if you aren't already. Road to 500 subs. And I'll catch you in episode 24 very soon.